Saturday haul on for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with the repurchases, which I did get another one of the Eminence Organic Skincare Strawberry Rhubarb Dermafoliant with Lactic Acid, a product I've been using for a really long time. I use it every single morning with whatever cleanser that I'm using at the moment. Right now I've been mixing it with the Pharmacy Whipped Greens cleanser, so I've been using it every single morning like that. Just a product that I have been using for a really long time. It's an organic skincare range, 4.2 ounces of product, and it comes in an aluminum like shaker style bottle. And this is a powder formulation, so I just put some of this in my hand and mix it in with the cleanser, and that is my morning cleansing kind of routine. I'm also running super low on the No7 Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced All-in-One Foundation, another product that I've been using for a really long time. I really like to mix these two shades together, and I've been doing that for a while. So I've got Cool Vanilla and then also Cool Beige, and I've kind of got just a 50-50 mix of that on my face today. I do like the Dr. Jart, and I like the other version of the No7 with the SPF 30 in it, and like some other foundations and stuff, but I constantly like to go back to this one. I just really like the coverage, the SPF 50, the added hydration that it gives my skin, and I just think that it always makes my skin, it's like a go-to. It always makes my skin look really nice. So they come in 1 ounce squeezy tube bottles like this. So I'm almost out of both of these shades, because again I mix them about 50-50, so I went ahead and got another shade of each of these, and I get them off of Target.com. It seems like the No7 website has got sales pretty frequently, but they're really picked over on the shade range in their makeup, so I don't know what's up with that, but usually Target has got the shades that I'm after. I also got another one of the Guerlain Meteorites, and I use the shade number 2 Clair Light. So there's 25 grams of product, or 0.8 ounces of product in here, and this guy is made in France. So I got another one of these because the one that I use is nearing its end. And typically when the little pearls get that small, it gets a little bit harder to get product on the brush, and I'll just take the remnants of what's left in my previous tin and then dump them into the new tin. It just kind of works out a little bit better like that for me. But this is a finishing powder that I've been using for a really long time. It does have that really beautiful violet scent that I love, but it does wonders as a finishing powder on the skin. After you have all my face makeup done, I take a big fluffy brush, I dip it in here, and then sometimes it helps to break the pearls up by shaking the tin if you want to easily get more product on your brush, and then I just buff it all over the skin, and it just really melts everything together on the skin in terms of your face products. A little bit of a broken record with that one, but I love this product. I also purchased this Glow Recipe Hey You're a Bright Light skin set. So it has a full size of the Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum, which is the vitamin C that I use every single morning, and it's a 1 fluid ounce bottle of that, and it was $5 more to go ahead and get the set as opposed to just the vitamin C. And there was a little size of the Guava Vitamin C Bright Eye Gel Cream in here, which was 0.16 fluid ounces, and this is a new product from Glow Recipe that I really wanted to try. So I got it in the set for $5 more. So this is what the full size of the vitamin C face serum looks like. And then there's also a 1/2 ounce Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream in here as well, which is more like a gel cream moisturizer. I'm trying to get it out of the box here. Comes in a glass jar right here, and I've gone through a full size of one of these as well, and it's like a gel cream again, and I use it almost like a serum underneath the Believe True Cream Moisturizing Balm at nighttime, and it just kind of works to add an extra bit of hydration. It's again to me feels like a gel cream, so it's just a really nice product for layering for my dry skin type. And then the eye cream, I started out using it in the morning, and I still got to play around with it, blending out concealers, because again it is eye cream, and I've been having a little bit of trouble blending concealers over it, so I've been more recently using it at night, and I really have been enjoying the extra hydration that it's been giving my eyes. I do layer it with the Swanee Cocoa, and then sometimes I rotate with some other things as well, but it's very non-irritating. I haven't had any redness or any milia pop up or anything like that, and then I haven't had any, like when creams settle in my little under eye rolls, I can get irritation that way too, and I haven't had any of that, and it is pretty darn hydrating. So I'm going to keep using, use it till I use it up, and then if I like it enough, I'll probably repurchase the full size. So that is a good little set right there from Glow Recipe. It's the Love Glow Recipe Hey You're a Bright Light. And I got this one at Sephora. And then I also seen that commodity fragrances are back up on Sephora, and they actually kind of like expanded the range of their line. So the original fragrance that I have from them is the Commodity Gold in the 100 ml. And I absolutely love this perfume. As you can see, I could definitely use up more of it, but I hadn't been using it because I love the smell so much, and it was discontinued. Like, you couldn't find it anywhere. I even ended up looking on eBay one time, and they were trying to sell this for astronomical amounts of money. So now that I know that it's back in stock on Sephora, they kind of did a rebrand. I'm going to start using up this bottle here. So I saw that there were 3 iterations of the Commodity Gold, and I saw this one here, which is called Expressive. So it says Scent Space Expressive in the Commodity Gold. And kind of from what I was looking at, it seemed to be like it was in a more intense version of the original Commodity Gold. And so I went and I got the spray size of it just because I wanted to make sure it smelled just like the original Commodity Gold in a more intense version, and it does. So the Sephora event is coming up, and I'm actually going to purchase this fragrance in a full size because, again, I love the original, and this is just a more intense version of it, so I can continually smell it stronger on myself throughout the day in this version. And I believe the other version, there's the original, there's this one, and then I think the other one is a lighter version of it. So if you thought the original was maybe a little bit too intense, it seems like there's a lighter version of it. So again, this is the Expressive one. It's 0.33 fluid ounces in this little spray right here. And where is this guy made? I believe it's made in the US. Yeah, it's made in the USA. And I thought that this little cover was quite cute. And it's got a sprayer on it too, which is my preferred method as opposed to like the roller ball. So I really like that about it. So love this. If you like Commodity Gold, it's back in stock on Sephora, and the Expressive version is a stronger but same scent as the original. Love it. I did also pick up the new Huda Beauty Empowered Eyeshadow Palette. So it is this guy right here. There's 0.59 ounces of product in here, and that is across 18 shades. And then this guy here is made in Italy. So again, this is the box packaging, and then here is the actual packaging. It's a nice weighted hard plastic packaging, and then this top part, it's not one of those like holographic kind of, you know, where you switch it and it kind of switches the image. This is just the image on there, and then it almost has like a soft matte feel to it. It's a really pretty packaging. So this is actually the palette that I have got on my eyes today, and I've worn quite a few shades out of here, and I do really enjoy the formulation in here. I typically get along with all of Huda's 9 pans, which are made in China. Some of them have been a little bit of a miss, but usually her larger palettes are made in Italy, as this one is, and I get along with that formulation really well. What I didn't know about this guy was there were 2 cream eyeshadows in here, like flat cream eyeshadows, which are the black, and then this deep burgundy shade, and then another kind of cream eyeshadow, which is really interesting because it's like surrounded by powder eyeshadow. So like I'll try to get up close here. See this wave looking situation? That center kind of groove there is a clear cream, and then the gold outside, and you can see underneath that clear cream is a powder eyeshadow, a really pigmented metallic eyeshadow. So what I did today to really get this gold shade to stick to that inner portion of my lid was tried to focus on just that clear base and tapped it on there, and then went over it with this gold because it's kind of a little bit flaky. There's not a lot of base pigment to it, and it just helped it adhere a little bit better. I did use that one by itself, and I had to pack it on over my eyeshadow primer, but I was wishing for a little more impact, so I went in with that clear cream that's the wave between a powder. It's very interesting. And it worked out really nice like that. The mattes are pigmented, they blend really well. I do get a little bit of fallout with them, so be sure to like tap your brush off with those. And again, I wish that those 2 shades right there were powder eyeshadows. I know like creams you can layer and with the different textures and stuff create really fun looks, but for me, I always just end up gravitating towards a powder, I guess. And then too, everything in here is quite mid-tone or deeper with the exception of this gold, which is a really strong yellow gold. And I am able to make it work on that inner portion for like a brighter kind of highlight tone on my eyelid. But there isn't anything highlight, kind of true highlight from my skin tone. So I did go in with a matte brow bone underneath the eyebrow with the Wet n Wild Brulee eyeshadow, because this here I actually blended out right here, and it's a more peachy kind of mid-tone shade on me. So if you're really fair, there aren't really highlighty shades in here. Again, I made the gold work, but that's kind of the only one, and that's on the inner portion of the lid. But other than that, I really like this palette. Those shimmer shades are just beautiful. So let's go ahead and get a swatching. So I'll swatch. This one is a cream again. I'll just go straight across. And I think that the color story is really stunning. And, you know, maybe I will kind of go out on a limb and try to use one of those dark creams and like pack, you know, those really shiny gold over the top of that black. Actually, let's just take some of this gold for fun here, which also has a bit of a creamy type of factor to it, but it's not a flat cream shadow. And just kind of put it over that black so we can kind of see the effect that it has there, putting it over the black base, which is kind of cool. So I might toy around with that, but those are the first four. And we'll do these guys. And then I'll just try to get my pinky to pick up the sides of the powder and then also the cream in the center. I don't know if that's helping. Let me swirl it all together. Heck it. And then these next one, this one is such a pretty metallic. Both of these two are beautiful metallics. And then this bottom row, and again, this is one of the creams. I've got this one on the center of my eyelid with that gold. And I mean, you can see some burgundy in there, but I don't know. I wish one of them was like a really like bright, sparkly highlight. And then these last two, which I've got both of these on today as well. Let me zoom in. I just kind of zoomed in there. Again, that black has got some, that black cream has some gold shadow over it. And then right there. And then here's a little bit of an up close of the palette. So those are the swatches for the new Huda Beauty Empowered eyeshadow palette right there. And then as much as I tried to resist, I got all three of the new Hourglass ambient lighting palettes. I was like, just get one you think is nice. But I love the packaging. I do love the ambient powders. I actually used to use the Ethereal Light ambient finishing powder. I think I'd gone through 3 or 4 full sizes of that. For a while I'd gone back and forth between Guerlain and the Hourglass, and then I started just going back to my Guerlain, and I'm actually finishing up the Dim Light, which I used Dim Light Hourglass finishing powder on my face today, so I do have that all over as well. But I picked up all 3 of the palettes. So it does say on the packaging that 5% of profits from Unlocked supports the Non-Human Rights Project. So that does say that on here. And each palette here has got, so each pan is 0.04 ounces a piece. And then these guys here are made in Italy. I'll start off with the one that I've got on my face today. So this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked in the Tiger version, which is this guy right here. So the packaging is like a metal aluminum feeling packaging, and then it's also magnetized. There's a little lip for you to open up the palette, and then there is a mirror in there, and then here are your 6 powders. So on the back it says there's finishing powder, metallic strobe powder, a blush, metallic strobe powder, and a blush. This right here, this number 2 shade, they're saying is a metallic strobe powder. I tried to grab that guy to use as a finishing powder because it performs more like the Hourglass finishing powder than it does that metallic formula. So I'll show you when I swatch them. And then for bronzing, I mixed my brush between these two right here. And I'd say that the only downfall of these palettes, especially when you're like bronzing or like using them for a finishing powder, is I use a pretty large brush for both bronzing and then also for finishing powder, just for really buffing. And it's really hard to pinpoint those brushes in pans this size without picking up other products. So I tried to use my fluffy brush to pick up this guy, and you can see, you know, it's almost unavoidable to hit the other products in here. And for all over finishing, I definitely didn't want to get those darker shades for that. So I ended up just going in with the dim light. But I did want to make note that that really isn't like a metallic formulation, but I love the products in here. So again, I mixed those for a bronzer, and then I've got this one right here on for blush. These ones here are beautiful as blushes as well. And what's kind of funny is I also, after I kind of contour bronze with these 2 shades, I just kind of ran my brush across like all those shades and like mixed them and put them all over my face, and I think that they look really pretty like that. So let's go ahead and swatch the shades. So this is the one they're saying is a metallic, and it definitely feels like a finishing formulation from Hourglass. And the highlight shades in here, the metallic or the strobe shades, are definitely too dark for me to use as highlight on my skin tone. So you can see right there, it's not that metallic. But they're really pretty blush shades on me. Or I can mix them in with the other blushes to give them more shimmer. And then these 2 shades. And I do have this blush on as well. And the blush is Iridescent Rose. So again, that one is the Tiger. And I'll leave those up and try to fit all of them on my arm so you can see them all together. And then we have got the Elephant palette right here. This one's got 2 finishing powders. Finishing powder, which both have like the finishing powder look. Metallic strobe, bronzer, blush, and blush. Again, the highlight shades are just a little bit too deep. The finishing powders work out. I can, kind of by going back and forth, get finishing out of those 2 without like dipping into the other ones. And I did use this bronzer as well, and it actually comes off on my skin a lot warmer than it kind of looks in the pan there, but it's still really pretty. I've actually almost gone through my, I think it's diffused light that I have the bronzer in a full size. So those are the finishing powders. They're not really going to show up super well because they are quite light too, and they're more of like a translucent finishing powder product. And then the 2 blushes, which are so pretty. So there's the Elephant. And then here's the last one in the Butterfly. And this one's actually got ethereal light in it, which is this one right here. And again, I've gone through several full sizes of those years past using it as a finishing powder. It was my favorite at the time. So it's got finishing powder, strobe powder, blush, finishing powder, blush, and metallic strobe powder right there. And this highlight shade where they're calling it again a strobe powder, it's not well, I'll swatch it. It's just not that shiny, especially for as like bright of a highlighter that I like to use. It's one that I could mix in with the finishing powders and not be able to really tell a difference because it's that subtle for me. So let's go ahead and swatch these guys. And then these two right here. And this one right here, the metallic strobe powder, and this one is borderline light enough for my skin tone. It does have quite a champagne yellow undertone to it, but I can make it work on me, so that's great. So the fun thing about these palettes is the powders themselves are really easy to use. And kind of like I had mentioned before with not being able to use like the bronzers and the finishing powders with a larger brush, it also makes kind of customization because of that. They're just like all right there. So if you wanted more shimmer in your blush, you could dip into the metallic. If you wanted to tone your blush down, you could, you know, dip into the diffused powder. You can just really customize the shades in here. You could add a little more shine. You could tone it down a little bit. You can just do a lot with them all being right here. You know, like I said, the ambient finishing powder product itself is just a really easy powder to work with. So they are really fun. I am glad that I got all three. I've used all three of them and I've enjoyed using each one of them. And again, I've got the Tiger one on today, which is like the darkest one out of the three. And I just love the way that it looks all together, especially paired with that Huda eyeshadow palette. It looks really, really nice. So these are fun. Let me hold them all up together too. So I kind of did it from what my eyes appear to be light, medium, and deepest. So the top one is the butterfly, the middle one is the elephant, and the bottom one is the tiger. And the packaging on these is super cool. I dig it. I could not help myself. And then Ulta was having a sale on Kissed lashes, and they had sent me a PR box with their masterpiece collection in there, and I would have never thought to purchase this particular lash because I thought it didn't look dramatic enough for me. But it actually became my favorite lash out of the box that they sent me. So it's from, again, their masterpiece collection, and this is the Pret-a-Porter style. So again, they were having a sale and I picked up 6 pairs of them. So let me show you what they look like before they are trimmed. So this is the lash before they're trimmed, and they're just really light to wear. And contrary to what I thought when I originally saw them, they do provide dramatization to the eye, but it's almost like a wearable, fluttery, dramatic lash. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very like airy and fluttery while still having a slight bit of drama to it. It's just really pretty. So this is the pair that I've been wearing. This is actually the first pair that I got, and I've worn them several times and they're still going strong. So just so you can see how much I kind of trimmed off there, I think I think I did 2. Yeah, I did 2 chunks off the end to get them to kind of fit my eye to how I like. But just a really, really pretty lash from the Kiss Masterpiece line right there. And again, those are the Pret-a-Porter Lash Couture Masterpiece one-of-a-kind luxe lashes. It says they're hand-woven faux mink lashes, and it does say on the packaging that they are made in China on there. Really pretty lash though. So when they were doing the sale, I had to get 6 more pairs. And then that's everything that I got in that I purchased this week. I do have some orders out there of stuff that's coming in, so that'll be exciting. There's so many launches, like so many launches. I just want it all, which is exciting because I kind of feel like there was a little bit of a dead spell there where I wasn't getting super excited about things. Now I'm excited again. So I do got a couple of PR packages as well. So Sonia G is launching a new eye set, and it's from her Fusion series, which is a combination of natural and synthetic bristles, which kind of gives you the best of both worlds when it comes to using synthetics and natural hair, because natural hair kind of it gives out a quicker blend and also picks up more product, and then a synthetic is really, really soft and it kind of diffuses a little bit softer. And when I use brushes from the Fusion series, from the face ones, I always feel like I get the best of both worlds, because sometimes synthetics don't pick up kind of harder pressed products, but when it's blended, you get that super soft blend from a synthetic, but you have the natural bristles that pick up the product easier, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of really, again, the best of both worlds when it comes to a blend of natural and synthetic bristles, and these are super, super soft. So Sonia G's natural bristle brushes are very soft already, so these are mixed with a synthetic as well. So soft. So this is her new Fusion eye set, and it is launching on Beautylish on Tuesday. So I'll put the details down below, but just a huge thank you to Sonia G and Beautylish for sending these over. So you've got the Jumbo Worker Brush, which is the largest out of the 5. And it's got a pinch to it, and it's got the paddle style to it. So it's really good for a wash of all over shadow, but because it's mixed with synthetics, it's also really good for primer, or if you use like paint pots or cream shadows as well, like for an all over wash, great. Which is another thing that the Fusion series is good for, because it's blended with synthetics, is they're wonderful for cream products as well. But this one's multi-purpose in that aspect, but because of the size, I'm really going to get some good use out of this with the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick highlighters, because I like to take, my favorite one is Pink Diamond. I like to take this highlighter right here and use it as a base for powders on the top of my cheeks, because my cheeks are quite dry, and so some beautiful powder highlighters, I really have a hard time getting them to stick to that area. When I put down this Anastasia cream highlighter first, it doesn't pick up my foundation or concealer underneath it, but it just grabs onto powder highlighters so well. So I do like to use a brush kind of like this one right here to pick this up and then just pat it on the top of the cheeks, which is how I plan to use this. And then we've got her blender brush, which is circular at the ferrule all the way around. And it's a little bit longer as well, so you're going to be able to get some precision. You can also use it, because it's a larger round brush, you can use it to lay down, but you can also use it to buff out really, really well, because it's got that longer bristle to it. And again, that is the blender. And then you've got the detail brush, which is just a little bit smaller than the blender, but it's also circular all the way around. So this is the detail brush right here. So you can see size-wise, they are circular at the ferrule all the way around. This one here is a little bit more pointed, the detail brush, in comparison to the blender brush. So what I'd like to use this for is like putting a little bit deeper color right in the crease, kind of in that fold of my eye, or if you really like to smoke out the lower lash line, that would be good for this too. Or also like really putting shiny shadows on the inner corner, for me it would be really good for. And then there are two kind of smaller flat shader brushes. You've got the Worker brush here, which these brushes right here, it's kind of similar to the shape of the MAC 217. They're just very, very multi-purpose in that they can lay down shadow, they can create a shape, because these ones are pinched, and they can also blend out. So again, this one here is the Worker brush. So here is the Worker brush from the Fusion series compared to the Builder 3 brush, which is a flat shader, which is really similar to the other brush I'm going to show you in a minute. So in comparison, the Worker is a little bit longer of a bristle and just a little bit thicker as well. So this is the side view, and there is kind of from the front. So this is the Worker brush right here, which is kind of similar to the MAC 217, and this is the flat shader kind of Builder 3. This is the one that I've been using, and this one here is really similar to the Builder from the Fusion eye set, with the exception of the bristles. So you're going to get, again, that blend of synthetic and natural in the Fusion series. So the head of the brush is very similar to the Builder 3 from Sonia G right there. But just a really, really pretty eye set. I get tons of use out of all my Sonia G brushes. They're some of my favorite brushes in my collection. I'm just going to go ahead and show the whole set next to each other here real quick. So this is the front view. So let me put the two rounded ones at the end. So these first three right here have got a pinch to them, and then I'll turn them sideways just so you can see in comparison with the width and the length on there. So that's the side view of those guys. Kind of turn them back like that, and then these ones are circular all the way around again. So 3 that are pinched and 3 that are circular, kind of blenders right there. And then that is what the handles look like. They've got Sonia G on there with her logo, and then the name of the brush as well. They're so, so pretty. It's the handles. And then lastly, the House of Sillage sent me over a PR package with their new perfume amplifiers. So I got to read about these, because I myself am going to have to kind of toy around with them and figure out how I like to use them the best. It says amplifiers are tailor-made, concentrated, powerful, and vibrant fragrance notes to amplify certain effects of the mind. Fragrance is one of the best ways for the mind to link to memories, moods, and emotions, which I am so guilty of. Like that commodity gold. I know exactly where I was when I purchased it, what state I was in, and what I was doing, and what I was doing the time that I was there when I spray it. Like, I'm that kind of person. It says each amplifier is a unique ingredient of notes which can be used alone or layered with your favorite House of Sillage fragrance to customize and create your personal scent. A small drop / dab to the pulse points and discover your own personal sillage. So you just take, like, wear whatever House of Sillage fragrance you want to wear for the day, and then take one of these amplifiers. So you put like a drop on the back, like of the ear area right here, and then on your wrist, and then with that fragrance that you choose for the day, it's going to give a little bit of a different twist or amplify up the fragrance that you're already wearing. So I've actually smelled every single one of these, and I can pinpoint certain notes in each one of these that remind me of certain fragrances from the range. And I really enjoy mixing House of Sillage fragrances as well. Sweet Atelier, it's a new one from them, or it's from the Sweet Atelier collection. It's called Sweet Dreams. It's this guy right here. Look at how much of this I've used. I'm over the moon for this fragrance, and it was just on sale, and I had it in my cart, and then they switched the sale to a different fragrance. I think it's Cream Chiffon is on sale right now, which I like to actually mix Sweet Dreams with Cream Chiffon, because Cream Chiffon is really really sweet, like warm sweet, and so I like to mix those two together. But they're really having a great sale on the House of Sillage website. But anyway, point being, I wanted to buy another one of those, and I like to mix that one with the Sweet Chiffon. So what I'm trying to say is I really enjoy mixing and matching the House of Sillage fragrances. So I kind of look forward to toying around with these and just using these just how they kind of directed on the pulse points with random different House of Sillage fragrances or other fragrances in my collection as well. I do find that the House of Sillage fragrances mix really well with each other, and I have also mixed them with, like, the Cream Chiffon I've mixed with other gourmands from other perfumes. Like, I've mixed it with Sweet Madagascar and what's that vanilla one that I get from Sephora, from Seven Virtues? Why can't I remember it? Vanilla Woods. That one, really interesting take on those perfumes when I do that. But anyway, let me show you the amplifier collection and kind of how they come. So this one here is the Sensual collection. So there are 4 15 milliliter perfume droppers in here. So this is what it looks like. And then you open it up. I'm probably not going to read all the literature here on this one, but if you can see it. And they also have all this information on their website, but these are the names of each one. And again, they're in a pipette style dropper bottle, so they're pretty easy to put on the pulse points on your body. And so again, that one there is the Sensual collection. And these ones here remind me of the more the deeper collection, like the Batman fragrance, and then the Whispers of Truth Noir collection. It's like their deeper version of the Whispers of Truth collection. That's kind of what this one reminds me of. And then the other collection is the Wellness collection, which reminds me more of their more spring scents, like the original Whispers of Truth or their lighter versions. So this one here again is the Wellness collection. Again, there are 4 15 milliliter perfume droppers. And these also have got 30% perfume oil in both of them and 70% alcohol volume. So this is this box, and then you just put the little tab right there. And so this one's got Clean Rejuvenation, Chill Out, Jumpstart, and Brain Power right here. And I've smelled all of these, and like I said, there's little things about each one that remind me of different fragrances from the House of Sillage. So it's going to be interesting mixing these with the perfumes. So this one again is the Wellness collection right here. I think this is a really cool and fun product from the House of Sillage, and I also think, which I'm going to try, because these are in a pipette dropper style, I've got diffusers in my house, and I'm going to put a drop or two of these in my diffuser, and you mix them with water and let the aroma kind of smell the room. I think that's going to work out really, really well. So again, those are the perfume amplifiers by the House of Sillage right there. And an absolute huge thank you to the House of Sillage, as always, for sending these over. And that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.